Hello, milkers. It's your milkman here, back to deliver you some fresh vitamin D in the form of an info dump. This time, I'd like to speak with you about the television show Dinosaurs and the cultural impact it's had. If you like this kind of content, please be sure to subscribe, and feel free to suggest topics for me to cover in the comments section. I always love to hear what's on people's minds. But for now, let's get into the topic at hand. What would a Muppet show created to appeal to adults look like? Was Bill Clinton's America ready for mature puppetry? And could you replace Bart Simpson with a talking dinosaur baby? These are some of the questions that Jim Henson was likely asking himself when he started developing the project that would eventually become the TV show Dinosaurs. Jim Henson never saw puppetry as an art strictly relegated to children's entertainment, and throughout his career, multiple attempts were made to bring the Muppets into the world of mainstream entertainment. In fact, the pilot episode of The Muppet Show was subtitled Sex and Violence to both parody what Jim saw as the state of modern TV and to get the attention of an older demographic. As it so happened, The Muppet Show was picked up and became a huge hit, primarily watched by children, but also enjoyed by adults watching with their kids, not to mention adults without kids, such as myself. Now, this was obviously great for Jim Henson's bank account, but it led to the Muppets getting shoehorned into the children's television niche, spinning off into seasons of Sesame Street, while the Jim Henson Company picked up work in Hollywood, creating costumes and props for the Dark Crystal, Labyrinth, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles films. While this was keeping the company busy and ensuring that the lights were staying on, Jim Henson was notorious for revisiting his ideas over and over until they became reality. One of the ideas that Henson would frequently revisit is a project that was developed alongside artist William Stout in the late 80s, which they referred to as their Natural History Project. Henson Productions commissioned William Stout to write a screenplay that focused on dinosaurs from various species living in their harsh world, all while combating threats to their general well-being. Jim Henson had planned for his daughter Lisa to produce this film, and they had even gotten Warner Brothers to commit to a budget of $25 million for the project. Now, I'm guessing that was $20 million to resurrect the dinosaurs and $5 million for food budget, but that's purely speculation on my part. I really have no idea how television is made. So if the script was being written, the budget set, and production being set, why did we never get this version of the Dinosaurs project? Well, the answer is quite simple, actually. Littlefoot and the rest of the Land Before Time crew came in and stole Jim Henson's thunder. Realizing that they would be going up against a Spielberg project caused Warner Brothers to back out, and no one else was willing to fit the bill. But again, Jim Henson was not a man who was willing to let a good idea go to waste. Over the next 4 years or so, the topic of a dinosaur family kept coming up in his mind. Due to the changing landscape of television, Henson's thoughts began to drift towards twisting the sitcom format and spinning it on its head. Jim felt that the sitcom format could be used to make social commentary, and he realized that his Muppets could be a Trojan horse, a way to make people drop their guard because of the lighthearted creatures. It's believed that as Jim Henson fell ill with the illness that would eventually take his life, that he began to share his ideas with his son Brian. Brian Henson had worked within the Henson Company for about a decade prior to the development of Dinosaurs, but this show was to be his first time as an executive producer, and he knew that he would need an expert's assistance in this endeavor. It is that reason that Michael Jacobs Productions was looped into the fold as executive co-producers. Jacobs was able to bring his experience from working on successful sitcoms like Boy Meets World, Charles in Charge, and My Two Dads. He also produced the perpetually forgotten Torkelsons, but they can't all be classics, right? Alongside the experience that he brought with him, he also likely influenced ABC's decision to pick up Dinosaurs, as they were currently running Boy Meets World on TGIF to tremendous success. The new version of the show was set in 60 million BC in the supercontinent of Pangaea. The main family of the show was the Sinclair family, and you'll soon come to see that most characters are named after fossil fuel companies. The patriarch of the Sinclair family is Earl, who works as a tree pusher for the We Say So Corporation. Earl was voiced by Stuart Pankin, and he is the stereotypical sitcom buffoon obsessed with television and beer. Check Homer Simpson, Kevin James in every role he's ever played, and every other TV dad.
Well, how do you know when you found true love?
Game's on.
Married to Earl is the more grounded and down-to-earth Fran. Voiced by Jessica Walters, Fran is often played as the spoiler to Earl's schemes.
You really should ask me about my day, Earl.
Look, Fran, I say this with all love and everything, but I don't give a damn about your day.
Ask me about my day.
Francis, nothing that happened in your little day has any impact on how I'm going to live the rest of my life.
Oh, yeah?
Throughout the show, Fran is usually a stay-at-home mother, but she will gain employment when the storyline calls for it. Rounding out the Sinclair family is son Robbie, daughter Charlene, and the fan favorite Baby Sinclair.
We feel the same way about this little egg as we felt about Robbie and you.
How in the hell could this have happened? Oh, God. Oh, God.
Whoa, I'm on the floor. Whoa-oh, lots of feet. Can't get up.
Chances are that when you think of the dinosaurs, it's Baby that comes to your mind. This little scamp is the attitude of Bart Simpson distilled into a newborn. Used primarily as comic relief, Baby would often cite his catchphrase of, "Not the mama," and "I'm the baby, gotta love me," and appeal to the younger demographics watching TGIF. However, Baby was oftentimes used to parody and satire popular topics of the time as well, such as children's television and religion.
Something about Blarney elicits the purest feelings of warmth and affection.
In class, Blarney! Die, scum! Die!
In my opinion, it's the dual nature of the show that elevates it above many other forms of family entertainment. And it's the same principle as to why people love the Shrek movies. Adult jokes and situations are sprinkled in to keep the audience entertained, while the younger children gravitate towards the baby and his antics. One example of this that I would like to highlight is the episode What Sexual Harassment from Season 2. In this particular episode, Fran's friend Monica DeVertebrae, the brontosaurus who lives next door, needs more money and applies to become the first female tree pusher at the We Say So Corporation. During her interview, the company's president, B.P. Richfield, attempts to compliment, and then send her on her way.
Necklace! Necklace! My, that's a lovely necklace. Yeah.
Excuse me, but what does my necklace have to do with getting this job?
It's just that you're such a dainty little thing, and tree push requires such strength and a large degree of technical knowledge.
I'm sure it's way over my head. But hypothetically, would I be knocking down trees like those outside?
Ah, come on, I said you got a nice necklace, now take it on out of here.
Oh.
When can you start?
Hey, what do you know? He'd fit right in under many companies today. But unfortunately for Richfield, Monica has the natural qualifications of 1, having proven work history, and 2, being a freaking brontosaurus. Thus, he has no choice but to hire her for this open role. And it's at this point that we're also introduced to another one of We Say So's star employees, the man who invented doublespeak himself, Al Sexual Harris. As he explains himself, he got his nickname by inventing a new way to talk to babes, where you say one thing and mean another. It should be noted that Sexual Harris's voice actor is Jason Alexander of Seinfeld fame, and notably not a sexual pest. At this point, it should come as no surprise that this ghoul is put in charge as Monica's boss, after telling her that she needs to put in more late nights with the team, if you know what I mean. Monica raises concerns and is promptly fired. When Earl hears the news of Monica's firing, he accidentally lets it slip out that an unjustly fired employee can request a hearing from the Board of Employment. At first, Monica wasn't interested in pushing the issue, but once she hears about how Charlene has been experiencing male-dominated harassment at school, she decides that things must change, and she can be a part of that change.
You know, if we continue to let males intimidate us, we females will never get the chances we deserve.
Oh, yeah? Like I'm gonna change the world?
Well, maybe you and I can't change the whole world, Charlene, but we've got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Fran?
Yes?
Get Mr. Richfield on the phone. I want a hearing.
Unfortunately, the trial that was granted to her was a sham trial, in which BP Richfield himself led an all-male panel in taking turns slandering Monica. When Monica brings up the doublespeak that Harris was known for, it is then determined that the trial must figure out what sexual Harris meant. In questioning, Monica was asked what she was wearing at the time of the event, what underwear she's wearing currently, and even if this was all a fantasy of hers. By the end of the trial, Sexual Harris himself is questioned, and he doesn't deny any of the allegations. In fact, he continues to make innuendos on the stand to the delight of the males in the courtroom. The case is promptly dismissed after it's determined that Harris shouldn't have acted unprofessionally, but more importantly, Monica should lighten up. The case against Harris is thusly dismissed. The episode ends with Monica contemplating if the whole ordeal was worth it, but then Charlene reveals that she was inspired by the case to work hard and start to demand equal treatment from her male counterparts, which leaves Monica feeling hopeful for the future generations of Pangea. Now to me, this episode highlights what Henson Productions and Michael Jacobs were setting out to accomplish with Dinosaurs. As a bit of context, when this episode first aired, it had been a few months removed from the Supreme Court confirmation case of Justice Clarence Thomas, who was being accused of sexual harassment by Anita Hill. Through its use of puppetry, Dinosaurs was able to make a commentary on a very adult subject on ABC's TGIF family block. They were able to reach an audience who otherwise may not have put much thought into the topic of sexual harassment. Dinosaurs, unlike many of its children's contemporary shows, still has political and social commentary merit in the modern age. Much of what was touched upon in this episode is still taking place in this modern human world. I would encourage each of you to check out Dinosaurs on DVD, or even better yet, watch it on Disney Plus, where every episode is available to view. It might make you reconsider some aspects of the modern life, but I can almost guarantee you that it will leave you entertained. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you've made it to the end of this video, here's your gold star. Don't tell anyone else that I gave gold stars out. Please be sure to stick it right on the like button, and you'll get extra credit if you go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Now I'm off to go push some trees in my backyard. I'll see you soon. Thank you so much and have a great rest of the day.